So I'm not usually on a Monday night, but today's my birthday. Woo! And while I don't make a huge deal out of birthdays. I think, when you're a kid, they're great, they're a nice thing to celebrate. As you get older, it feels a little bit performative for me, to me. However, I do think birthdays are a wonderful time of demarcation. They're a nice point to reflect on what has been and intention set as to what is coming. How do we move forward with greater grace, greater appreciation of the moment, and consciously move into whatever comes next? So, to that end, one of my favorite things that I love to do when it is my birthday is to express gratitude for everything that is going on in my life. So, I thought it'd be fun to join you guys in this practice. So, thank you for being here with me this evening. Hello to the people on the live chat. Matt, always a pleasure to see you, my dear friend. And Wilson, welcome. So, we're going to just start taking a couple centering breaths. Allow yourself to just come into the present moment. Be aware of yourself, be aware of what's going on for you. And I'm going to speak out loud what I'm feeling grateful for right now. And I would invite you to do the same for yourself. I invite you to name for yourself all the blessings that you have in your life, the things that you can feel gratitude for. So I'll start off by just saying, gosh, I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for this community we've been building here on YouTube. I am grateful for the real life connections that have come from this. I just got home from San Francisco a couple hours ago. And while I was there, I think I met probably at least 30 people who came up to me and said, that what we do here on YouTube matters to them. So I'm really, really grateful for this relationship that we share. I'm grateful for all the meaningful interactions that have come from this work. The beautiful emails, the beautiful phone calls and video chats, real life relationships that we have developed from this. I'm grateful for having a space to share thoughts and have meaningful conversations. I know that for many of us, it doesn't feel easy in this current world to have conversations about deeper things and how beautiful they are when those things occur. And how lucky I am to get to have this here with you all. Thank you, Trevor. Thank you, Matt. It was a pleasure having you at the retreat, too. I'm grateful for my good health. I think that's something that we don't appreciate enough. That how lucky we are to be in whatever state of health we're in, because it could always be worse. It could always be worse. Happy birthday, Ryan. So even though we all have our shit, we all have our limitations, the things that could be better, grateful for what we have. I am grateful for my little furry friends. We got one here. Hi. Sorry to interrupt your chewing. Got one back there. We got another one. I love the energy that animals bring into my space and all the love they give. We got home from traveling for a few days and spent a few hours getting kisses from our puppies. I am so, 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 so grateful for my partner. I'm so grateful for my husband, Anthony. It was so wonderful getting 5 days together, getting to have experiences together, travel together, make memories together. He is by far my biggest champion and support and confidant. He is so enthusiastically encouraging while holding me accountable to my highest self. He inspires me, he pushes me to grow, he keeps me grounded, he loves me passionately. I'm so grateful for him. And I'm so grateful for the love he gives me and the life we're building together and how we continue to evolve together. For those of you who have partners or in relationships, you know that it's not just the easy stuff, the joyful times that make the one partnership wonderful. It's also the challenging times. It's how they help you grow, how when you work through things together, you become better people together. And I couldn't imagine a more perfect partner to go on this journey with. So I'm so grateful for him. I'm grateful for my parents. My parents come with a lot of challenges. I think most parents do. Oh, thank you, honey. He's typing that in the chat. My father's, if you've been following for a while, my father's going to be passing soon, in the next couple months, probably. And my mother is struggling with that, but throughout everything, my parents have always given so much love and so much support. And they've always tried their best. And with all the challenges, they have been wonderful parents. And that's something that I really try to get to the point of in most of my relationships, is to say, we all have our shortcomings, we all have our struggles, we all have things that could be better. But to really just say, the love is what matters. The love is what matters. And the intention is what matters, right? To try to do your best. My parents have always tried to be the best parents they could be, and for that, I love them. Even if their actions have been sometimes misguided. I'm grateful for my ability to communicate. I'm grateful for my ability to speak and share ideas. I'm grateful for the ability to share my thoughts and to be heard and to listen. No, thank you, Siva. I appreciate the birthday wishes. I'm grateful for my home. There have been moments in my life where I haven't felt safe or comfortable in the spaces I've had to call home. And I'm grateful to be in a space where I feel loved, I feel safe, I feel comfortable. I feel grateful to have a home that feels like my favorite place to be. I think we should all be so lucky to have a home that we feel safe and nourished by. I am grateful for being able to do work that I find meaningful and I am able to do joyfully. I think many people are trapped in jobs that they don't really like, but they feel they have to do it to pay the bills. I was at the airport today and overhearing a conversation where one of the people who worked at the airport talked about how 80% of the employees at the airport have to work 2 jobs because it doesn't pay them well enough. And I imagine working in an airport is not a glamorous job. It's probably not an easy job. It's probably very long hours and dealing with very irate people. And the fact that they cannot make a living doing that, I don't know if I could handle that. And so I'm so grateful to feel like I get to do work that is meaningful to my soul, that I feel like is making a difference. And is able to work on my own terms. You know, I have my own issues where I can't work for extended periods of time due to health stuff. So being able to work at my own pace is really amazing. And to feel like I'm contributing to something, because I think we all need to feel like we are of purpose somehow. That if we feel like what we're doing doesn't matter, it really leads to depression and unwellness. So that feeling of contributing something meaningful, I'm really grateful for. I'm grateful for the relationships in my life, my friends, my confidants, my good acquaintances, my soul brothers and sisters and siblings. I'm so grateful that so many beautiful people have entered my life, many of them from this. A lot of my new friends have come from interactions online. And how grateful I am to feel that way. I know there's a lot of people who don't feel like they have close relationships. If you look at the statistics around loneliness, they are higher than ever. And there have been points in my life, many points, where I felt like I had no one to turn to. I've had many, many lonely nights crying, thinking that, will I always just be alone? And how blessed I feel to not have that experience now. I'm grateful for the love we share. I'm grateful for the kindness we share, the space we share, the meaning we share together. This might sound silly, but my next one is I'm grateful for having good food to eat, clean water to drink, clean air to breathe. Many people in the world are not so lucky. Many people in the world deal with toxic water, food insufficiency, or only having, calorie deficient food or nutrient deficient food around them, living in polluted spaces. My parents, for example, found out that they have, extremely high levels of the chemical from that Aaron Brockovich movie in their drinking water, that all the dogs in their neighborhood have been getting cancer. It's just that stuff happens everywhere. So it seems like such a simple thing, but especially as you see the weakening of the last presidential administration, the Trump administration, on the EPA, and allowing more and more toxic chemicals to be dumped into our water supply, and how that will get worse if Trump gets reelected. Like, clean water is not a given. I feel grateful to live at a time where access to education, access to transportation, access to technology and healthcare is better than it's ever been at any point in human history. The fact that I could be on one side of the North American continent this morning and the other side just a few hours later this evening is mind-boggling. Never in human history was that possible in the last several thousand years. The fact that I can log onto YouTube and learn about anything I need to know. Hell, when we were renovating our house 2 years ago, when we bought a house in the country, I learned to lay hardwood floors into tile because of YouTube. I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for the resources provided to us. And it doesn't mean the world is perfect, and it doesn't mean we don't have things we need to change. But there's actually a lot of good here right now. I'm grateful for the kindness of strangers. How often somebody I don't know will just do a kind gesture. Maybe it's a nice word, maybe it's holding the door open. But those little things matter. We live in a time where people can be really distracted by technology, and to just at that moment of recognition to say, hey, I'm a human, you're a human. Let's appreciate each other. That's really beautiful. I'm grateful for living in or dwelling in spaces that have climate control, right? That you can walk into a restaurant or a store and this time of year be greeted with air conditioning. It's, in DC next week, it's going to be in the upper 90s. I'm so grateful to be able to be safe. How many people in the past or in places without that die from exposure to the heat or the cold or the elements? I'm so grateful for my spiritual practice. For those of you who have watched my YouTube channel for a while, you know that I've had a lot of different explorations on my spiritual journey. I was raised Methodist. I moved into an ashram for 7 years. I started to explore more nature-based, animalistic philosophies. Started to explore some more indigenous spiritual traditions. I'm really, really grateful for all the beautiful spiritual guidance I've received, and wisdom, and the beautiful people who have been guides for me, and caretakers, and have helped me in my journey. And I really do believe that when we ask for spiritual guidance and help, things show up. that's available to all of us if we know that's what we want, if that's what we ask for. And so I'm very, very grateful for the spirituality that has been in my life. I'm very grateful for the flow of energy through my life. For some people, energy is something they feel and sense. For others, it's more of an abstract idea. But I just am so grateful for that feeling of soul, that feeling of divinity, that feeling of cosmic magnetism that just flows through the world. I'm so grateful to feel connected with that, to feel part of that larger ecosystem, to be part of something so much bigger than just myself. I'm so honored and grateful for the people I've gotten to serve on their spiritual journeys, my clients, the people I affect here on YouTube or my other social platforms. I am grateful because when we assist others on their spiritual work, not only does it make their life better and the world better, but it also makes us better. That we learn and grow and evolve through our service. And I know I have been tremendously healed and made a better person through those that I have shared some space with. And how beautiful that is to get to share. I'm so grateful for quiet. It's not something that I think we appreciate enough of. I think many of us are constantly surrounded by noise, and it's something that as I've gotten older, I've just come to appreciate more and more. It's just how beautiful the silence can be. How much the quiet can teach us. That sitting in a window and listening to the rain, sitting under a tree and just feeling the grass underneath you, the leaves overhead, the quiet of the forest. Hearing the quiet within as you turn your focus inside. When I was younger, I didn't want quiet because if I heard the space around me finally dim, I was faced with feelings inside that were very uncomfortable. And it's taken a long time to learn to appreciate and relish the quiet and see it as something sacred and beautiful and nourishing. I'm grateful for the feeling of sufficient time. Grateful that there's not this feeling of I have to rush to get everything in. I need to succeed by the time I'm 22 years old, where there's this huge pressure in society to make it big by a certain date. But instead to realize that you have the time you need. Whether that time is another day, another week, another year, another decade, another 10 decades, who knows? But to let go of this idea of needing to rush, because I've, for much of my life, and sometimes still get caught up in this hurry of needing to get things done. And I am so grateful for having sufficient space to feel like I can relax and allow life to unfold at its own pace. An old saying, there's no rush in growth. It takes the time it takes. So those are some of the things that I am grateful for as I reflect here on my birthday. I'm also grateful that I have the ability to sit and reflect in gratitude on these things because, there's a saying in spiritual work that it's good karma to be exposed to spiritual ideas. But not everybody is able to make use of those spiritual ideas. And then there's people who have the capacity to do spiritual work, but aren't exposed to the notions that will help them grow. And so I'm deeply grateful to have had the good fortune and the disposition to be able to sit here on YouTube, shirtless with you guys, and express some gratitude for my life. Because not everybody is so lucky. Not everybody knows that it's possible. That when you sit down and really appreciate all the blessings you have, how your life can become better and better. And I'm grateful that you all want to sit here with me for 20 some minutes to listen to this. Because very few people do. Very few people want to listen to these kind of conversations. Most people would rather watch YouTube videos on, makeup tutorials or violence in the Middle East or, Grand Theft Auto. So I appreciate you wanting to sit here with me. So thank you. Blessings to you. Well, this is a lovely way to kind of wind down my special birthday. 37 today. A couple weeks ago I had to write down my age and I had to pause because I'm like, I don't think 36 is right. I think it's supposed to be like 65 or something. And my brother laughed at me this morning when I talked to him and he's like, so you're turning 37. I was like, yeah, it's basically 40. We should just start rounding up. Sometimes I feel so much older than my actual age. But I'm grateful for another year on this planet. I'm so grateful for this life. And if you've been listening to my YouTube channel for a while, you know that when I was younger, I would have given anything to be anyone else but me. And to be at a point now in my life where I can genuinely say I'd rather be me than anyone else is quite the journey. And it's not one I necessarily anticipated I'd ever get to that point. So, thank you for taking some time with me on my birthday. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for this life. I'm grateful for YouTube to allow us to have these conversations. Be blessed, be well. I'll see you sometime soon. Thank you guys so much for all your nice birthday wishes on the chat. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.